Well, speaking of that point, you have to be humble. You told me a specific story, and that story you went to go work with a kayak coach who was world renowned. And tell me what happened in that first workout.
Well, when I went to Canada to train with the Canadians, I went up there, and the Canadians are fairly good at the sport of spring kayaking. And the coach goes, "Do you think you're strong?" And I said, "Of course I think I'm strong. You know, I played college football." So he puts me on the bench press, and he tells me to do 225, and I did it like 12, 13 times, and I'm all proud of myself. Lo and behold, he says, "Sarah, come on over here." And this young lady comes over, and he says, "Bench press." And she gets down and does it like 12, 13 times, and my jaw hit the ground. Now he looks at me and he goes, "You do pull-ups, huh?" Big Polish gentleman. And I said, yeah, I do pull-ups now. I'm a little more humble.
Yeah.
And I did my 10, I think, like every other individual does. And he says, "Sarah, come over here and do these pull-ups." And she straps down two 45-pound plates and starts doing pull-ups. And he looks at me and he goes, "You're not strong. You're going to train with the women's team." And I was like, I just flew 3,000 miles, moved my entire life to train with the girls' team. I can't compete against the women in the Olympics. And he goes, "You're lucky I don't put you with the kids. You're so bad."
Wow. So
And,
then, how was it once you got into the water?
What's that?
How was it once you got into the water then?
You know, I mean, if you have to take a step back and you say, "Hey, this is what I have to do to make myself better. This is what I have to do." And looking back, it was the smartest thing for me at that time, because literally if I trained with the men's team and I was only kayaking for a year or two, that I literally would have never been able to master the technique. I would have gotten crushed every single day, and it would have been about survival. And training with the women's actually allowed me to master my craft, my technique, and focus a little bit. And then obviously over time I was able to, go faster and then join the men's team. But I mean, you had to take that progression. You had to take the step back and literally go, "This is what it's going to take to make me better, so be it."
Well, I think you said it perfectly. You had to take the steps back to master your craft. And I think that is probably the one sticking point that I think most athletes do is they think they have the "I got it" syndrome. And so they just want the more advanced exercises, more weight, more this. And they haven't even mastered, these specific motor skills. So to me, that was one of the most intriguing things when you and I sat down and had that conversation. So thank you for sharing that with us today. I'm sure we could go on for another couple hours on just your workouts with Sarah. So thank you for sharing that with us.